Howdy, it's Uncle Paul, and finally I am walking totally without the cane. Yay! I've never really used my cook kit on a backpacking trip, so of course, as you know, I'm planning on doing that now, and I do have a little change I want to make that's going to save me just a little bit of weight in my pack. And then I have a question about a particular gear for my set that I really hadn't thought of until now. So. Okay, so when I started making plans to go backpacking, and really even before I decided that I wanted to get out on the Appalachian Trail, I bought this lightweight Pinnacle Soloist cook kit from GSI, and it comes with a cup, a mug, and I only took this on one backpacking trip and used it just one time in the Guadalupe Mountains with my nephews, and but ever since then I decided to go stoveless. But now I've decided to go ahead and take my cook kit, but in the thought of trying to save weight, I haven't given it much thought because I went stoveless all the time. But now I'm starting to think, well, how can I save weight for my cook kit? Well, I've decided to not take this pot. Now, even if I was going to take this pot, I didn't mean I had to take this cup necessarily. But I want to go ahead and weigh both of them together here in just a minute, and then I'll weigh this separately. But I'm going to replace it with this titanium cup and mug, and I forget now, it's from MSR, and it's got this lid. It gets real hot, the handles are hot, and I've used this handkerchief, you know, when I've used it. But all I'm doing now with my cooking is I'm with my dehydrated meals, and I put them in the bag, the little baggie in here, of course. I'm just boiling water to put in the bag. I'm not going to be cooking in the pot. That's not my plan at all. Save me from having to, you know, clean out the pot and everything. So this will hold more than 2.5 cups of water, and that's going to be plenty for the meals that I take. I'll make sure of it. And so, and then I can use it as a cup as well for coffee or whatever. So that's one reason I wanted to go ahead and make the switch. So let me go ahead and weigh these and see what the difference is. Okay, first I'm going to weigh the GSI pot with the cup inside, and I've got it on ounces here. So 9.6 ounces for the GSI pot. Now let's get it without the mug. Okay, I took the little mug out. I'm going to put this back on with the lid, of course, and it's coming in at 8.1 ounces. 8.1. Okay, now for my titanium MSR. Okay, and it's got a lid on it, and it's coming in at 4.2 ounces. So that weighs only half of what my GSI pot is, and also, of course, if I were to put the cup with it, obviously that would make that even more heavier. So, you know, anytime you can cut anything in half, I think that's pretty good. You got a stick in your tail. Well, you got a stick in your tail. Well, you're doing pretty good. Did you get it? Okay, good boy, good boy. Come on. Okay, well, Hurley needed a little bit of attention, so I took a break. Oh, here's part of a treat right here. Hurley, you dropped that. Here you go. Here you go. So now on to that piece of gear I really haven't given much thought to, and that is a windscreen or a windshield to protect the flame on my stove. Okay, so with a windscreen, obviously it needs to protect my flame, keep it from blowing out, and my flame will be right here, and that's about 6.5 to 7 inches high. So it needs to be, the windscreen needs to be taller than that. Now I know that, and I've read this and seen it on videos where people will say, well, you know, you can use other things to screen the wind, and for instance, use your backpack, or, you know, if you have a Z seat or something like that, or a folding sleeping pad, you might be able to use that. So they've come up with different suggestions, and you know, those are possibilities. I may go with doing something like that, but I would rather look into what kind of windscreens, at least explore that. So if you have know of a lightweight one, a particular brand and all that, or maybe you have one yourself, you can maybe guide me to YouTube video or something like that that talks about the different kinds. Please let me know down in the comments below. I would surely appreciate it. Good Sunday morning, everybody. Well, before I go get on the scale this morning, I have a confession to make. You know, it's kind of interesting. My nephew Reagan, it's been a while back now, but he was in the kitchen right before supper, and he had one of my sister-in-law Shelly's dinner plates, and he was flipping it around, tossing it up in there, doing a lot of stuff with it. And you know, now Shelly's got two different types of plates stacked in there. One is a total white plate. The other one has a flower pattern on it. And so he's in there flipping one of those around, and she gets on him, tells him to stop, but she tells him, she says, if you break one of those, it better not be one of my flower pattern plates. It better not be one of those plates if you're going to break one of them. See, Shelly? See what Reagan did? No, I'm kidding. Reagan didn't do this. I did. I broke this plate. I'm sorry. You remember the day this past week that I made supper? It was that day. It was while I was making supper. I accidentally dropped something on it on the counter. That's how it broke. Yeah, I apologize. Now, guys, my sister-in-law, she watches these videos usually either 2 to 3 hours after I post them in the morning, or right after we get back from worship, not too long after that. So if you've got any comments that you want to make on this video, you know, answering the question and everything, you better make it fast. But anyway, not that it really matters now, but it's time to go get on the scale. Last week, the little weight was on 13 and the big one was on 200. And so this week, getting on the scale, I was able to push it back the left way, 1 pound, and it looked like that was all. It might be just a little over a pound of weight loss, but I'm going to call it at 1 pound lost this week. All right, guys, as always, thanks again for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share these videos. And if I'm still around next week, I'll see you then.